Hey guys, I'm MeziI and I'm gonna share with you my Zenith project. So for my Zenith project, I decided I wanted to learn how to do special effects and I wanted to learn how to use After Effects. And this was because a while back I wanted to make a TikTok, and so I edited myself with a lightsaber in After Effects and I posted it on TikTok and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So when I was thinking about my Zenith project, I was like, okay, let me just make a video where I could just try out as many special effects as I can. I was planning on involving lightsabers, casting spells, green screen effects, blotter media effects. Yeah, a lot of effects. And yeah, that is a lot, and that would be insane to have to do all of that in like a 2-month period. But I was very passionate about it and all my other classes weren't that demanding, so I was like, okay, like I think I can do it if I really work hard. And I was really excited for it, so I didn't really care anyway. Also, this is like the last project that I would have before I wouldn't be able to use the freestyle equipment, so I was like, okay, I have to go all like full out. Okay, so during the pre-production stage of my Zenith, I actually looked back to my narrative project and I realized one thing that I learned from narrative is that sticking to or creating and sticking to a set schedule is really important and it's very helpful, and it changes the entire workflow. And so that's what I did. Separate from the actual calendar we had to turn in, I made my own calendar to list out all the things I needed to do, like the different props I needed, the people that I needed, so that I could actually tell my actors and whoever else was helping out exactly when and where we were gonna meet. Also during this pre-production stage, I was practicing and learning like the different effects that I needed to use. And so yeah, you can check them out here. Of course, even with the planning that I did, there were still problems. So I was supposed to film at a park during the long weekend, but what happened was it turned out that it was gonna rain on that day. I guess I didn't check the weather forecast right. Yeah, and so last minute, like literally the day of, I told my actors, hey guys, instead of filming at the park at this time, we are changing the time and we're gonna film at a parking garage. And actually one of the actors did suggest that, so props to him, because that was very helpful because I had no idea what I was gonna do. It turned out that it didn't actually rain and it was just very cloudy and windy when we were trying to film. But it also turned out that the parking garage was like a really good place to film the scene that we were filming. So the scene that we filmed that day was the Star Wars scene, and so I finished the whole scene and I ended up getting way too into it, and it wasn't just people casting like lightsabers or opening up, whatever the word is. I don't know. Yeah, it was more than just that. It was like a full-on fight scene and I was like, this is a lot of editing, but like I'm excited. And we were supposed to film the next day to finish the rest of all the clips, but then we get a notification we are issuing a sheltered place, and I was like, oh, and everyone else was like, oh, well, I guess we're not filming then. But it turned out that as soon as I started editing, the demand of editing just that Star Wars like scene was so high. It was crazy, and I realized that it actually turned out for the better, and so I wouldn't have to worry about all the different scenes and effects I wanted to do at first. Instead, I could just focus on the Star Wars one and actually make that one look really good. That brings us to the next section. Okay, so editing this video took so much time. Like I was sitting hours upon hours each day editing this thing, because the catch is that you have to edit it frame by frame. And so I shot a video that was about 1.5 minutes long, and that was the longest 1.5 minutes of my life. And yeah, so basically what I did was I used After Effects and made solids for the lightsabers. Then I masked those solids to match the actual lightsabers that the actors were using. Then, frame by frame, I changed the size, position, rotation, and rotation of the mask to match the lightsabers as they were moving. After this, I added the glow effect and changed the color to make it look like a real lightsaber. My project still didn't look very realistic, so I ended up working a lot on the color grading in order to make it look better. Then it actually did start looking better. It was awesome. Then I added flashes to whenever there was a collision of the lightsabers. Then I added lens flare overlays to make it look even more like it was actually happening. I also added sparks. That really added to it. It looked good with the sparks. In the end, I ended up being very proud of how it looked, especially because that's the first time that I had really put a lot of work into effects, because the TikTok video and all those other trial videos, I was just kind of doing it to kind of see how it worked. But then this actually looked pretty good, and I was proud of myself for it. To top it all off, I actually went onto YouTube and I looked up a really cool title animation that I learned, and yeah, and honestly, I feel like the title makes it even more hype at the end, than the actual video. But I mean, that's just my opinion, but whatever. I'm proud of my title. In the end, I am extremely proud of what I made, so please enjoy it! So that's my Zenith project. It was very exciting to make, even though it was kind of boring and long at some points. I really learned a whole lot about After Effects, despite how massive it really is. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Peace out.